We are. Welcome to Beverages with Brad. We are here with John Morris today, comedian extraordinaire. What made you decide to start doing stand-up comedy?
Well, first I want to thank you for having me on this week's episode of Comedians in Coffee Shops with Really Old People. It's a geriatric ward here today at Annabelle's. I'm actually bringing the age down, the median age, so that doesn't happen that often.
Does it feel good to be like well below the average?
Yeah, well, that doesn't usually happen, especially in comedy, as you know. So I took Frank O'Donnell's comedy boot camp class. I stopped at the time. Sadly, I had a daughter that was ill. Actually, my daughter was sick with cancer at the time, and
that's brutal.
Yeah, it was a rough thing, needless to say. But say after she had eventually passed, sadly. But I pushed it aside for a little while. But then I just needed to get to it. I needed to get back to something. It's therapeutic for me. When I do it for, I never say that I do comedy for a hobby. I don't really like when people say they do comedy for a hobby. I work as hard at it as I can. I wish I could do more. I wish I started younger. I started in my early 40s. But actually, I didn't realize, in my high school yearbook, when you put ambitions in your senior picture, it said to be a stand-up comedian. I didn't even remember that until someone brought it to my attention. So how many of you really get to live your dreams and say what you're going to do in your ambitions in high school?
It said to be a stand-up comedian eventually.
Well, it didn't have a timeline. There was no timeline, and it certainly didn't say at which level of mediocrity I would have achieved. But so ultimately, it's therapeutic for me. I love doing it. I really wish my daughter could still be here with us. Just for the bigger sense. But I wish she could have seen too what the level of mediocrity I have achieved with comedy, because it's so much fun.
When the break was over, I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this comedy thing a try. What was the mindset at that point?
Oh, it was no holds barred. I really wanted to just get out there, get as much stage time as I could. Again, I was the old guy.
What's your real job?
My real job is I'm an operations manager for Citizens Bank. I'm kind of the Benjamin Button of comedy, right? I started because I didn't start. I had children young. My first daughter was born when I was 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, we got married young. Had my second daughter 5 years later than that, 5 years after that, and your priorities change. Had to have career first, I couldn't really do. But I didn't even have comedy in my sights at the time. Shout out to Michaela, she's 25 years old, just turned 25 years old a couple of days ago.
Happy birthday.
Yes, I'm very old, I know.
Talk about jumping right into another intense subject. So you had a heart attack.
Yeah, I know everybody's looking saying, geez, how could that happen, John? You look like the picture of health, right?
Yeah,
I know.
Look at this guy.
Okay, I was on the, when your sweat starts to smell like Funyuns, that's not usually a good sign. So get yourself checked out.
This is a public service announcement for Mike Murray right now.
That's right, Mike, put down the cruller. I was at work, relatively easy day, I thought. I was on a conference call, got a strange feeling, and it turned out, thank God, I went to the hospital and got it checked. There was a pretty big heart attack.
Wow.
Had 9 stents put in. Wow. But I was on that path. I was certainly on that path. We were.
What does that mean to be on that path? You just eating jelly donuts all day?
Eating crap, not doing, not treating yourself good, not exercising as much as I should.
Stress too?
Stress. I had a very high stress level job, so.
Is it still that stressful?
You learn how to manage stress. You learn how to manage things a little better.
Do you like the job?
I do like.
Do you have to say that because we're on camera?
Well, pretty much. Yeah. I have to. No,
it's the greatest job in the whole world. It almost killed me, but it's awesome.
Let's not get hung up in the details at any point here, Brad. Okay, stay in school. Aim higher than me. But it's a good. But it put me on a different path now. I work out a lot more. I know it shows quite considerably.
Obviously.
I am.
You just wake up looking like this.
This is the before and after. This is the same. But there's so many reasons I should be dead. Honestly, because of all the blockages I had and all the stents that I needed and the bad procedure that happened when I had the stents, actually, so many things could have really gone wrong.
Well, I'm glad you're not dead. That's
well, thank you for that. It's part of, aiming for mediocrity.
What does your wife think about the comedy?
You know what? I think most like many wives, I don't know if your wives is the same way, but they're so sick of hearing us at home that I think it's almost an outlet. Just good. Get them the hell out of the house. Let them go tell jokes and be a smart ass somewhere else. It's just like, just go play with your friends. It's like my fort. You know what I mean? It's like when you were a kid.
Do your outlet. Like that's like your poker night or your whatever.
Right. Luckily I've got a lot of friends that book shows, and they'll be gracious enough. Thank you all, and please continue. My wife thanks you too. Continue to book me on these shows because it's a blast. You know what? Follow your dreams, man. It's the best feeling in the world, and when you have things in the right perspective, I think it just adds so much more. It's a bonus to your life. It really is an extra, added value. To what you do, and it's just like I said, for me, it's therapy. So it's a shitload easier than paying a copay, to some therapist.